The Audi A6 Allroad Quattro. This might be the last year that we actually have this vehicle, which saddens me because we don't have enough wagons in North America to begin with. So even for competition purposes, we really only have like Mercedes-Benz to compete against this, and the price is going to be a lot more money than this. Now with this review, Audi still hasn't confirmed yet if it is going to be discontinued, but more than likely this is going to be on the A7. I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle, and the reason why I'm bringing this vehicle is it's a lifestyle. When you go wagon, it's a completely different buyer, especially when you go into the luxury segment that has some performance, because underneath the hood of this, it has a 3.0 liter TFSI turbocharged V6 producing 335 horsepower with 369 pound-feet of torque, and that's paired to a 7-speed S-tronic automatic transmission. And the MPGs is awesome because if you go up into an SUV that's a Quattro system, an all-wheel drive system, you're not going to be getting 21 MPGs for the city, 30 MPGs for the highway. The front's going to obviously have the Matrix design LED headlights in daytime runnings, and it goes into the single-frame Audi grille, which we have the black optic package. That's why it's blackened out around it, but it doesn't blacken out the O-rings. You have to buy the Audi beam rings in order to do that. The lower skirt is going to get the glossy black, and you have headlight cleaner as well as your windshield wipers. It goes hand in hand. The only disadvantage to that is it sprays all over this hood, and it's a clamshell hood, which means if you were to have an accident, God forbid, it's going to TP up, therefore making it a lot more of a safe vehicle. Unfortunately though, with this lifestyle, you're not getting any upgrades when you get the black optic package in the sense of wheels. So this is a 20-inch, 10 V-spoke design, platinum gray finish. The brakes, this is what's crazy. That's a 6-piston with a 14.7-inch disc reading. That's 375 millimeters. It's ventilated. The rear is going to get a single piston, 13 inches, 330 millimeters. I mean, you have performance brakes with a curb weight at just over 4,400 pounds. The glossy black is going to be here on the side with the Quattro print, and you're going to get the same color as the body here because we have the black optic package, which gives us the gloss black around all the window trims and these raised roof rails, which is great because you can put tie downs. And this is something that I would utilize for because it's literally an SUV, but in a car version. So you not only have the performance, you have the styling, and you have air suspension, so you have the luxury. It's literally capturing every single market, flared out fenders so it looks more aggressive. I like the wagon design myself because it's more practical. You have a lot more cargo capacity, a lot more headroom in the second row because it's not a fastback design where it would slope down kind of like a coupe style. Standard LED taillights. The lower though is going to be a bit plain for me. The black optic package does blacken out the lower bit, but no exhaust that's exposed. You get your reverse parking sensors. You get a 360-degree reverse camera. We've only ticked the box to a few features on this vehicle, but the nice thing is we're under an $80,000 price to get a luxury Audi Quattro wagon. That itself is a gem because again, in North America, you don't see these hardly at all, which to me makes this a little bit more unique because if you get an A6, they're all over the road. You get an A5, it's the same thing, but not the all-road. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Click a like button because all these clicks help with the algorithm. 335 horsepower. I'm not racing it yet. 5.4 seconds 0 to 60. Top speed around 130 miles per hour. It's literally ticking the box to everything you would need for a practical yet versatile wagon. And that's what makes this so unique because when you go into a sedan, you're not going to get everything that you would get with this, with the cargo space and the headroom and legroom for the second row. Plus, when you go into an SUV, you're not going to be getting the actual MPGs. And look at that thing go. Get you a speeding ticket so quick, but it'll definitely leave a smile on your face. The exhaust doesn't really filter in, but that's also to be expected. It's a 6-cylinder 3.0 liter. It does have quite a bit of torque, and the clearance is good because you have around 5.5 inches. It goes up to 7.3 inches of clearance. So it literally wipes off an SUV right off the bat. Because when you're starting to say, well, I'd rather have an SUV, I would too. But when you go this route, you're getting the best of both worlds, and you're getting better MPGs and air suspension. I don't feel that much of the imperfections, and it's quiet in the road. Adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, well, it's going to do this for you. Now, obviously, I'm not endorsing anything of this. If you do this, this is on you, but you can usually go about 0.2 to 0.3 of a mile without having to be very engaged with the steering, and it will drive for you. As you're seeing, it's already saying, please take over steering wheel and pay attention to the traffic. These sensors are not quite as good as a Tesla, but I like that you're getting this feature. Now, you do have to pay upgrades for more safety features. Now, you're gonna hear that charm as it's getting ready to deactivate, which I'm not gonna let it deactivate because I'm turning off on this exit anyways. When you're at lower speeds, kind of in the rural areas, the sound deadening is really good though. The ride quality is good. The seat comfort as well. I don't like that it doesn't have cushion extensions. That's definitely a con because almost every German I can think of has it, and they don't have this in the Allroad. Sadly, this is on the chop block, which means it'll probably be the A7. As of this video, it's not confirmed if it is going to be discontinued or changed or if they're gonna even do anything with it. But I'm imagining because BMW has done the M5 Touring, they'll probably keep this. And that 0 to 60. It gets there quick. And the braking, you can stop on a dime. I mean, 6 freaking pistons in the front. That's a lot. And the nice thing about this is it's not overly long. So you're not getting an A8 and you're not quite going small like a A5. It's literally that in-between size, so it gives you a lot more versatility in the interior. That's why I'm sad that we're gonna be losing this particular vehicle, because you have so much capabilities and yet one of the best MPGs in class when it comes to a wagon, especially if you were considering to go into an SUV. Now, if you change the driving mode select and you just put it on comfort, this is going to raise the suspension up. So it should be a lot more smooth. Another thing to note is it doesn't feel boaty. So when you are taking some bends in the road, it doesn't feel like all over the place like an SUV would. It feels a lot more planted in the road. Now in comfort mode, you do feel a little bit more of the weight in the pedal. But if you leave it in dynamics, you're not gonna feel that at all. And I usually leave it in like an automatic anyways, or a dynamic. Those two modes really make this vehicle drive more refined. The steering is light, so for getting in and out of lanes, not going to be too much of an issue. Now the cons that I have is it should come standard with soft closed doors. It should come standard with the Volcona leather seats and massage seats, because they only have one trim to choose from. You have to option it up basically when you go this route. I do like that we have this wood inlays, because when you're in the A6, you're not really looking for carbon fiber, so they give you 2 different trims to choose from. But then the interior color, it's always black and dull, so just kind of liven it up. They only give you 30 different ambient colors. So there is a few things that they could have tweaked, but because this is basically the last year, it's gonna be the way it is. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here.